morning once again. It's the AM show. Thank you for bringing us the news.
Yeah, and we've been chatting so much that we didn't share our newspapers. Okay. You should hear Israel and I arguing. It's so funny. But yeah, well, good morning. Hope you had a good weekend and that you're safe this morning if you're just waking up. Yeah.
Everybody knows anyone likes worrying me. It's okay.
Everybody knows you enjoy me worrying you.
Really?
It's my corporate social responsibility to worry you. Anyway, so I've seized the Daily Graphic this morning because it's rather bulky, and I feel like if Israel does it, we'll never finish the review this morning. So I'm going to start with the Daily Graphic this morning. Okay, so on the front page, Grain Authority in the offing seeks to address perennial food price hikes. Presidential term limit is appropriate, that's according to President Akufo-Addo. NDC doesn't want IPAC functions changed, that's according to Asiedu in Kitia. Okay. So let me just do a quick glimpse of the stories in the newspaper. Supports Guinea junta to peacefully transfer power, that's according to Dr. Enchidan, so he's advising ECOWAS to do that. MPP holds regional conference. President hints of 2 NPP presidential aspirants. That'll be interesting. President inspects Sawa Hospital project. Greedy leaders looting nation's resources. That's according to Cardinal Turkson. Okay, so let's get into the newspaper. So this is an interesting one. Thousands march to support abortion rights. That happened in Washington. So tens of thousands of people have marched at rallies across all 50 U.S. states in support of abortion rights. And there's a new Texas law that severely limits access to abortions in the state. But pro-choice supporters across the country fear that constitutional rights may be rolled back. Interesting, very interesting. Support Guinea. Okay, so I told you about that story. Trial begins in biggest Mozambique corruption scandal. Nightmarish bridge on the Hacho Abokobi Road. Have you encountered that?
Yeah.
Oh, you have this bridge. Okay. So apparently this bridge, which is on the Hacho Abokobi Road, has become a nightmare for commuters. And apparently the Minister for Roads was around that area.
Abokobi, no.
Yeah, apparently the Minister for Roads was around that area, but didn't pop through there. Kolebu renovates orthopedic ward. Okay. Presidential term limit is appropriate. So President Akufo-Addo has indicated that he's in favor of the existing presidential term limit. Okay, so obviously he's talking about the 2 terms here. Unlike some countries where, they have 3 terms, and when the term is over, they don't want to go and all of that. Well, President hints of 2 NPP presidential aspirants. Even though the NPP is yet to open nominations for their presidential aspirants, President Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo last Friday ignited discussions on presidential ambitions when he mentioned the Minister of Trade and Industry, Mr. Alan Kojo Tremantin, and the Minister of Food and Agriculture, Dr. Owusu Akoto, as some of the ministers who are seeking to replace him as president. That's interesting. What do you think about that? I feel like, the president doesn't make any mistakes in terms of those kinds of hints. So it's probably like they're putting out a feeler or something.
Well, not sure what to make of it.
What to make of it? Okay, well, it's like, eventually we will find out. Anyways, NPP holds regional conferences. Politics should not create enmity. Afoti-Addo, President inspects hospital projects. Okay, Pharmacy Council trains 93 counter assistants. Widow and 12 children rendered homeless by Mampugu Maduri downpour. A 55-year-old widow and her 12 children have been rendered homeless after a rainstorm destroyed their house. Wow, it was in the northeast region and it's been raining there. And we know how it is, when it rains, then there's just so much chaos and havoc that is wrecked across. Okay, ECG restores power to Asawinso after smoking peace pipe. So there was a death in that area since 2015. So they've kind of resolved that so that finally they have some light. Employers urged to support pensions authority scale up. Make whole teaching hospital model of excellence. This is an interesting story. Census spread, yeah, census spreads. If this is census spread, then what is? Okay, there are two census spreads. This, because you see, this it's kind of spread out in the middle, but I don't. Anyway, I don't get it. Make local languages compulsory in schools. Professor Kari advocates, but either ways, I mean, the kids do one local language. They pick either Ga or Tree, don't they?
Yeah.
So anyway, Professor Kwame Kari has advocated local languages be made compulsory. Okay. According to him, Ghanaian languages must be studied in all basic and second cycle schools. If we can study English and maths as compulsory subjects, why can't we do the same for our own language? I'm not sure. As far as I know, that they are. So, GES cautions final year students against acts of indiscipline. Okay, let's continue. Eradicating hunger by 2030. The world is not on track. That's KNUST promises to lead STEM education. Let's have a conversation maybe later on about the local languages issue. I'm wondering if your kids, are able to speak a local language. Maybe Tree, maybe Ga, maybe Ewe. I must say that I've noticed that the Ewes are very, very dedicated to making sure that their children speak.
Really?
Yeah, all the Ewes that I've met, even in London, even in the US, they kind of raise their kids from when they're babies, with the language. And so you find that their kids can speak. And you know what they say about children, they're able to pick up a lot of languages in the first few years of their life. So it's kind of the best time to. So yeah, maybe we'll have a conversation on that a little later on. Oh, okay. Billboards defeat. This is another center spread. Wow, graphic. You really went for it this week. News feature. Billboards defacing city, posting danger and obstructing view. This is interesting because you know how sometimes you're driving and you get to like a runabout and the lights from the billboard are so bright that they almost temporarily blind you. Yeah. I think that's one of the issues. Those are the electronic ones, but otherwise there's just really a lot of billboards as well. Okay, so there's a pull-out Day of German Unity 2021. So some information about stuff going on in Ghana concerning Germany and all of that. Relationships. Okay, Ghana Armed Forces, UEW signed MOU. Security officer burns in motorbike crash. Free will, choice, destiny. Love that. That seems like a very interesting piece. It's by Ahoma Okanse. It's on page 50. Okay, we inherit a moral universe where we generally have a sense of right and wrong. You can check that out. You're free to choose, but you're not free from the consequence of your choice. It's on page 50. It looks interesting. Untold story of women in journalism. This is very, very interesting because I think it was last year. So this study came out about, this research thingy came out about journalists, women, female journalists in Ghana, and the fact that after a certain age, you become less marketable. I think it was like between 45, above 45, and so, I guess people stop wanting to see, more matured-looking women on TV and, and stuff. Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I'll find it for you. It was quite comprehensive. They also talked about the fact that a lot of women in journalism kind of don't go above a certain point, and also even educational-wise, they kind of also don't go past a certain point. And then, of course, there's all the, things that we deal with from men and getting stories and all of that. It's an interesting one. I think it's definitely worth... but there's this survey here by UNESCO in Ghana. A 2020 survey found that 73% of women respondents said they had experienced online violence with platforms such as Facebook and Twitter, which also ranked the social media sites as the least safe for women. People like Nanama Ajim and Asante have been speaking about the kind of trolling that they experience. As we've seen Sewame here go through a lot of trolling, But somebody will say, well, the men go through it as well. So this is a man's world. Okay, more I don't know. I wish I had the song crowd. When I say that this is a man's world. Okay, road safety digital app launched. President inspects J. Oh, okay. The president was obviously on an inspection tour this weekend. President inspects J.A. Kufuor School and 2 others, asking for support for National Cathedral project. 18 million COVID-19 vaccines coming. That's good. Kumasi Airport to be ready by October 2022. Greedy leaders looting nation's resources. That's according to Cardinal Turkson. All right. Lots of adverts. Seek for secure jobs. Unemployed graduates advised. Unemployed graduates have been advised to be willing to accept offers for jobs that would provide employment, stability, and experience, rather than searching for high-paying ones right from the start. So basically, start small.
Start small.
Yeah. But Israel, on the start small conversation, right? Does it make sense to accept a job that doesn't give you enough to actually take? Do you know that some people have jobs that put them in debt? So their transport from the house to work alone per month is more than their salary.
Yeah, but it keeps you busy, they say. You
And
have something
in debt.
doing, and while at it, you may just get another opportunity.
And in debt.
Better. Well, yeah.
Okay. But listen to Israel. That's what he did in life, and he has gotten to where he got to. Milo faces first test as stars seek warriors' revenge. Oh, okay. Ping Pong. Discovery Series 1 unearths new talent, and fire officer dies in rescue operation. May his soul rest in peace. The late ASO Joseph Baidu. Speeding vehicle kills woman and grandson at Amanfo. Okay, that's it for the Daily Graphic.
All right, so we'll go to the Ghanaian Times. Registrar General on warpath, 100,000 dormant companies to go as maiden cleanup exercise to delete names from database begins. And there's a photo of Mrs. Jemima Ware, Registrar General. And on page 3, 13 Galamsey arrested by NASIM Task Force. That's the Ghana National Association of Small-Scale Miners. Firefighter drowns in rescue attempt at Gomwa of Wasi. That's a very sad story. So a fire officer got drowned in a well when he attempted to rescue 3 persons from drowning in a Gomwa of Wasi in the Central Region last Saturday. A 23-year-old man charged with 3 crimes. And the story about Wasi candidates being cautioned, here again we have that in the Ghanaian Times. Wasi candidates cautioned against destruction of school property. And Mali's plan for Russia mercenaries to replace French troops and settle Sahel. Also in international news, UN unprecedented malnutrition in Ethiopia's Tigray looming, and thousands rally for Tunisian president. On page 6, thousands of pedophiles in French church. Okay, so an inquiry found that. Now, thousands protest against Brazil's president. Philippine president announces retirement from politics. Exercise regularly. Consume cocoa product for better heart health. That's on page 7. Then we go to page 10. Don't be used as agents of distraction, the youth have been told. MPRA engages stakeholders to improve best practices. Afari Jang, discussions on electoral reforms not preserve parties. Parties in the EC. And assembly members admonished to engage with electorate. On page 12, it's not frivolous for nation to acquire presidential jets. That's Kofi Bento saying that. But he explains it when he spoke on Newsfile. Uphold legacy of Buzia. That's former President Kufuor saying that. And we go to page 15. Government committed to improving agriculture productivity. President Akufo-Addo assures. Let's go to the center spread. President Akufo-Addo urges ECOWAS to outlaw third-term bid. And selection of Rockshore International as YADEC's strategic partner is historic, timely. That's Asante Hini saying that. National Cathedral will see light of day. President Akufo-Addo saying that. And we move to page 23. Car Parship holds STEM mentorship for secondary college students. Executive of UTAC sworn in. NCC urges youth to play watchdog role in society. And Indians in Ghana commemorate Mahatma Gandhi's birthday. Then on page 26, total assets of banking sector hit 149.3 billion cedis in 2020. Enterprise insurance pays 69 million cedis in motor claims. FBN Bank, Ghana, adjudged best bank of the year. Not sure who had. Okay, so it was at the second Ghana Credit Excellence Awards organized by the Chartered Institute of Credit Management, Ghana. SNIT Saturday service to be piloted for 6 months. That's the Deputy Director General saying that, okay, so you can get to visit SNIT and get your issues resolved for you. And they intend to pilot that for 6 months. So that's some good news. In sports, Suarez deepens Barca crisis. So Luis Suarez piled more misery on Barcelona by scoring in a 2-0 victory for Atletico Madrid on Saturday. But Ronaldo Koeman insists he has a club support to continue as coach. Well, wish him all the best. PSG slump to shock 2-0 defeat. Oh, so Paris Saint-Germain suffered their first defeat of the Ligue 1 season on Sunday after losing 2-0 at Rennes, putting an end to their perfect start following 8 consecutive wins. Lionel Messi smacked the crossbar with a free kick in the first half. Okay, so he couldn't score. Okay, cool. And there's more sports news. Australian state makes vaccination mandatory for athletes ahead of Ashes Australian Open. Celebration wasn't disrespectful to Ronaldo. That's Everton hero. So Everton and Man U in the EPL ended as a 1-1 draw. Former Marseille president Tapie dies.
Oh.
Ghanaian coach targets double in the Liberian top flight. And go to the back page. Stars trooping today for Zimbabwe ties. That'll be it for the Ghanaian Times for me.
Okay, so going quickly to the Daily Guide. Front page, we've not ended registration. That's according to the NPP. Ghana Link bags 3 prestigious awards. Ex-tour boss charged in US over $2.5 million bribe. Wow. Wow, $2.5 million in bribe. I believe in presidential term limits and don't be an armchair leader. That's according to a Tumfor. Let me give you some of the details. So the Tema Oil refinery boss, Asante K. Beko, who resigned in 2020 following reports in the United States that he facilitated the payment of bribes to government officials and some MPs during an emergency power contract arrangement under the Mahama-led NDC administration, has been charged. So he's been charged. That's the story. Okay. An overused kettle calling a fairly used pot black. That's quite interesting. Okay, thousands protest across Brazil calling for President Bolsonaro's impeachment. Thousands of pedophiles in French church. That's according to an inquiry. So thousands of pedophiles have operated within the French Catholic Church since 1950. The head of a panel investigating abuse by church members says Jean-Marc Sauvé told French media the commission had found evidence of 2,900 to 3,200 abusers out of a total of 115,000 priests and other clerics. So, oh wow. President Duterte retires from politics. He's a Filipino president. Blast kills at least 2 civilians near Kabul Mosque. Okay, so that's it for international stories. Farmer killed over another man's wife. Oh, Matthew. So Matthew has apparently, reportedly, been shot dead in his room in the northeast region. Wow. Okay, so basically he had a thing with somebody's wife and the husband came and killed him. People are just like, killing is so final, it's so irreversible. Like,
yeah.
You know what I mean?
But it you know, when there's an issue like that happens, you're also enraged. So the rage,
Yeah,
you
passion,
can't
crimes
control.
of passion.
Yeah, you can't
Yeah.
tend to control it.
Rapper Nines jailed for importing 28 kilograms of cannabis. Ghana Beauty Awards 2021 returns. Ghana is more organized than Nigeria. That's according to Hanks Anuku. And there's a model boot camp that's happening. Okay, well, Kufu has been speaking. He says that Buzia is his role model. Motorcyclists grabbed with weapons and cash. Desperately seeking acceptance. That's interesting. Sorry, I was just reading my horoscope. Doreen, I still do that. Doreen Avio and Confidence Hagen to host GMA UK 2021. Our very own Doreen. GAW, the Ghana Association of Writers, has paid tribute to Nana Kwame Ampedu. Gasmela embarks on sanitation sensitization campaign. And on the back page, Suarez deepens Keyman woes. Refusing yeah. I always look at him like Coleman, Keyman, Koyman. Have you noticed? It's like the third time I struggle with Coleman. So why couldn't it just be Koman? Like, why? 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 Like ZOE is Zoe, like Coleman. Anyway, whatever. Refusing COVID jab is like drink driving. That's according to Klopp. Liverpool manager, I see. Edwin Jesse maintains fine form. Okay, that's it for the Daily Guide this morning.
Let's go to the Finder. 1D1F, how 22.1 million cedi loan revived Dako Farms, which is now in talks to supply 100,000 birds monthly to KFC. Wow, that's very good news. And glad to hear that. So, the revamping of Dako Farms Limited, the oldest private and largest poultry farm in Ghana, demonstrates the critical role the government's One District, One Factory initiative is playing to change the structure of the Ghanaian economy for the country's sustainable progress. So President Akufo-Addo paid a working visit to Dako Farms, and it's on page 8 of the Finder. Also, in the story, Tumfor backs Rockshore to succeed in bauxite business. Cocoa producer price kept at 660 cedis despite slump in the terminal cocoa markets. And I am grateful to Asante Mang for its unflinching support, President Akufo-Addo to Asante Hene. And Creative Arts SHS, J. Kufuor SHS and Bosumchi Girls SHS ready for use in 2022. Okay. Then let's get to page 2. That's where we have the story of Otumfor backing Rockshore to succeed in bauxite business. It says, Asante Hene Otumfor said to the second has endorsed Rockshore International as a strategic partner of the Ghana Integrated Aluminium Development Corporation, selected to implement Project 2, development of a mine at Nyinehini in Pasaso and a refinery solution. All right. Make members of the NLC full-time commissioners. Mr. Somaso, Executive Secretary of the National Labour Commission, Ms. Ofosu Asamoah, has suggested that members of the commission be made full-time commissioners to expedite the hearing of cases at the commission, calling for proper funding. Right? Everybody wants proper funding. Right? That'll be it for the Finder.
Okay, shall I just do the Daily Statesman? Okay. Dako Farms is back through the magic of One District, One Factory. That's very interesting because Dako Farms was such a big institution growing up. They were kind of like the face for poultry industry here in Ghana. And they're back. A few years ago, you know, they kind of just went down a little bit. But that's good. 1D1F. All right. Well, that's good news for the poultry industry. 3 choppers for Ghana Police to enhance operations. Akufo-Addo thanks Otumfor and Asante Man for support. Okay. Let me see. Government urged to streamline school feeding program. What does that mean? Give them less food? I don't think so. Just kidding. The public relations officer of the Joint Association of School Feeding has urged the government to streamline by putting in place measures to ensure that children in schools benefit from the best intentions that birthed the program. Okay, get that, totally. Chinese company ignores directives to stop mining illegally. Judges raised concern about the allowance. Okay, all those stories pretty much from last week as well. Every man has a prostate, you don't say. Okay, so Cardi B shuts down plastic surgery rumors after giving birth. Jim Ike premieres new movie, Bad Comments in Ghana. Jim Ike has just been chilling since he got to this town. TikTok records 1 billion monthly year. TikTok is big now. 1 billion monthly users.
Wow.
Yeah. Something else, huh? Yes, I'm on TikTok. Very funny. I don't do anything on TikTok, actually. My TikTok is not that exciting. I've never posted any videos. But I find that I'm really able to keep up with my gospel music on TikTok, because as soon as there's a new song, it's out on TikTok. So it helps me. Once you pick the kinds of things that you want to see, it can be useful, as opposed to those of you who sit on TikTok watching girls shaking their buttocks the whole day. God is watching you. You better change your life. You've been told. I'll finish. No, actually, I haven't. Wait. As good a performance as I can remember. Brighton 5th after being frustrated by Arsenal. Arsenal frustrated somebody, a club? Oh my God, the times have changed. Okay, I finished now.
All right. Okay, so we're just learning, whilst we're on air, we're just learning that there's been some accident at Konongo, and a number of people are feared that it's so unfortunate. It's really sad. We keep talking about people having to drive safe, and yet we keep on getting these accidents. This latest one coming on the Accra-Kumasi highway at Konongo. We pray for all those who are involved. It's a terrible thing to hear on a morning like this. Sure, they were heading to some place, they left their families, and people expecting them to get there safe. Unfortunately, we are getting these stories coming through. 13 dead, 11 others injured. That's so sad. Anyway, let's get to the Business and Financial Times. TUC fears trade capture under AFTA by EU, others over tariff elimination. Otumfo endorses JADEC strategic partner for Project 2, Rockshore International. GSE reviews new trading rules to check market volatility. And in agriculture, almost 800,000 minors labor in agriculture. Says the canker is endemic in cocoa mining and the fisheries sector. Rainforest Alliance moves to curb the menace. All right, that'll be it for the Business and Financial Times. Let's get to my Joy Online, see what stories are there.
Okay, so legal practitioner has been speaking. Which legal practitioner is that? Police assault. You can defend yourself by law, but be careful. Oh yeah, definitely in that moment. Can you see the other stories as
All right, so I'm a firm believer in presidential term limits. That's Akufo-Addo saying that. $2 billion Sino-Hydro deal. Propaganda of impossibility will make its execution a testimony. That's Dr. Gideon Boako. Separate Police Intelligence and Professional Standards Bureau from Police Service. As a lawyer saying that. And SIM re-registration exercise comes at no cost to the state. NCA saying that. And Registrar General's Department to delist more than 100,000 companies. And future Mahama government will expand access to legal education, Sami Jenfi tells prospective lawyers. And ECOWAS should outlaw terrorism in West Africa, Akufo-Addo. And make study of psychology and mental health mandatory courses in law schools. That's lawyer Martin Bebu. And
okay, that's about it.
That's it.
My Joy Online. All right. Well, Oreku is in the studio today. We missed him. He's been Zooming the past few days. So he's back in the studio with us, and he will be joining us right after we go on a break. Right. So don't go anywhere.